Oh, hey, how's it going, guys? It's Tuesday. It's 7:30, so you know what that means. Back live again. Sorry, I was a little bit late there. I just watched it swirl and swirl say going live, and then it didn't say go live. So I had to re-exit out everything, go back in. So glad you guys could make it. Looks like I've already got a little bit of a turnout, so we'll go over the chat real quick. Looks like Pope Cerberus the first. He was first in. He just says, C Wood. Nice to see you, Pope C. HME3 Comics. Yo, he says. So nice of you to make it. Comics Addiction says, finally going to be able to watch his live for a bit. So glad you can make it. He usually does it. He's been just starting to do the live stream stuff himself as well. So cool to see that. He has some cool stuff that him and his buddy will like count down stuff. So it's always interesting to see, of course, they're kind of on late for me anymore when it comes to work, unfortunately, but I try to catch them all on the rewind. Looks like we got Simon Comics. Says, so happy to catch this live. We are happy to have you live, Simon Comics. He's got a great channel. Sub him up. New to the YouTube land, if you will. And Miss Hustle says, finally, someone is live. LOL. Yeah, I was actually watching a little bit of videos before I went live myself, and not a lot of people out there tonight. So, oh, no problem, Simon Comics. So while we're waiting for people to come in and fill up a little bit, like usual, I'll just go ahead and start with the last week's pickups. Not a lot of offerings for me last week. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to make it to my store until Sunday. Unfortunately, with 4 days of sales, by the time I got there, there wasn't much left to pick from off the shelves. Some of the most empty shelves I've seen in my shop for a while. So I don't know if they just didn't order a lot last week or what happened. But I actually had to go to a second store today that was an hour away to get some of the stuff I was looking for. But more on that in a little bit. But I got 4 comics from my shop this week from my pull list. Nothing too crazy this week. The first one I read right before I hit the live button was Soule number 5. This is actually the conclusion to the first story arc. And actually, I guess they're not coming back after this. Like issue 6 isn't even out until January of 2019. So looks like they're going to take quite the break after this. But this is pretty much the climactic last issue of the first arc where, the queen, she's bleeding, she's dying. And Rook's trying to save her, so they finally escape from where they're at. They're going downriver. And then somehow the queen ends up turning back into the tiger, and that's where we cut off and go to the break. So kind of a climactic ending there. So pretty solid read, in my opinion. If you guys want to check that, I'll probably have the trade out in the next couple months, I'm sure, if you guys are interested in Soule. So once again, I really have been enjoying that. Next up, we got Web of Venom Venom. Number 1. This is kind of a spin-off of the Donny Cates Venom stuff going on lately in that book. And this wasn't too bad of a read either. A surprising amount of Nick Fury and Wolverine in this, more than Venom. And I guess this is only going to be a one-shot type deal. I didn't know if this is going to be like a mini-series or what. Just kind of a little explanation of how the symbiotes or symbiotes, depending on your Sony wanted explanation or pronunciation of that. But anyway, very interesting read once again. Nothing too special. Maybe, I don't know if this is going to end up in the dollar bins one day or if it'll hit because it's got Wolverine and Nick Fury in it. But nonetheless, if you see one, you might flip through it, see if you like it. And then got a couple Batgirl books. One I have not had a chance to read yet, but I at least read Batgirl number 26. Got the cool Joss Middleton cover. But I do have one gripe on this. Once again, DC's getting kind of cheaper in their outside cover quality. Because I had a couple books I bought this week. I don't know if this will come up on my camera. You can kind of see those spots on there that are rubbing from other books, especially when they have like these nice white covers. Unfortunately, I just hate getting these like nice B covers, and they're kind of ruined by the rubbing from the other books, and it's just frustrating. But anyway, the read was solid. Batgirl has a new antagonist in her title. And unfortunately, I guess Batgirl is now, her number 1 weakness is tasers because she has that thing in her spine from the Killing Joke, basically. So when that thing gets activated, it sends a surge to her brain. So unfortunately, her eidetic memory is messed with. So she's kind of trying to figure out what happened and why she got so beat up and everything by her new antagonist. So definitely a solid read. The ending of this, she kind of collapses in Gotham Central in front of her dad. So we will see what comes of that. I think Sean Gordon Murphy is either designing a new suit for the next issue or he's working on next issue. But there's an interesting article in the end of this about Sean Gordon Murphy working on Batgirl now, which piques my interest. So I'll definitely be getting the next issue to see what that's all about. But just another, like I said, nothing too great, just another solid read. Let's get to the chat real quick because a couple of people are popping in. We got Bear Island Comics. What is up, Bear Island Comics? Nice for you to make it. And Simon Comics says, I almost picked up that comic but then passed on it, but now I regret it. I don't know if he was talking. I think he was talking about Venom, maybe. Like I said, it was all right. Nothing too crazy. Miss Hustle, I think she was looking at this cover, says it looks super cute. So, like I said, Middleton's been knocking it out lately. One thing I haven't had a chance to read, because like I said, I didn't get my books till Sunday, and I've been working pretty much every day until today. And then I was on the road today, so that didn't help too much. But got the Batgirl Annual #2. Oh, Simon the Comic says I was talking about the Batgirl with the white cover. Yeah, I was just saying, at least it's got a pretty cover on it. That Batgirl Annual #2. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. This will be what I read tonight, basically. Looks like we've got some James Gordon Jr. action in this book. So if you guys read the Black Mirror from Batman, he's a solid character. So I can't wait to see what they're going to do with James Jr. and DC Rebirth. So I think I just leave that on the pull list because sometimes, you know, when you're getting your average stuff, sometimes those annuals just come out of nowhere with that $5 price point. You want to pass on them. But I figured when it comes to James Jr., we'll just get the annual and see what happens. So there's that. All right, so like I said, I hit the road today. Went up to a place called Greenwood, Indiana. They have a really nice comic store, which has tons. Like if you guys like variant covers, B covers, and you're in that area, they have a bunch of that type of stuff. So that's why the main reason I figured it's like, oh, I'll get something good to eat up there, and then actually go to this place called Comics University, get some good B covers, and then they also had a half price books up there. So you guys know me, I got to hit the half price books. So first, I'll show you what I decided to pick up from Comics University. First off, they had an Aquaman 38 B cover. So usually, you know, see a Joss Middleton cover, you pick it up at this point, basically, especially if it's Aquaman or Batgirl. I thought that was a pretty cool Aquaman cover, so I figured why not pick it up. My store sold out of all the Edge of Spider-Geddon stuff. So luckily they had plenty at this store, so I picked up, I'm thinking this is a B cover or a C cover, I'm guessing B, but got a Edge of Spider-Geddon #1. This is a Coley Hamner variant, I believe. And then they also had the second copy from the same artist. So figured why not get them both, see what that's all about, because I did like Edge of Spider-Verse and the whole Spider-Verse thing Dan Slott did a few years back. So I've heard a lot of people speculating on things that are happening in Spider-Geddon. So I didn't want to miss out on all that action. Another good story I've heard about in DC lately, because I mean, since I've been going to the shops, I love DC Comics, but I've been slowly getting out of them for whatever reason, with the exception of Batgirl and Justice League. But I've heard really good things about Red Hood and the Outlaws. Basically, Jason Todd's going full bad guy again against Batman, so I wanted to make sure I got on board when I saw these issues. So I saw an issue 23 B cover, an issue 24 B cover, and then I think this was the pretty good one, issue 25, the B cover, where he's fighting Batman. Unfortunately, this one had a $4.99 price point. It does feel double size. But once again, going back to DC's cover and page quality lately, sorry. As you can see, I didn't notice this till right before I started filming. There's a rub from another cover right there or something. So DC's killing me with this type of stuff lately, especially when your books are $4. Like, come on. What is up, Popcom? He says, hey, Lex Luger. All right, Simon Comic says, on the road again. I just can't wait to get on the road again. Willie Nelson, of course. Thanks for making me think of that song. Hey, no problem, man. It's a good one. Then the last two books I picked up from that shop, got X-23 #3. This was on my pull list at my local shop, but they didn't give it to me for some reason. So unfortunately, it was their loss of sales and getting sales for this other shop. So finally got that. Been a good series so far. And then Extermination #2, like I said, I'd be on board for Extermination. They had this either B or C cover. I think this is just a B cover of a connecting variant. They had the issue 1 there, but I didn't want to spend any more money on this trip than I did. So I just wanted to get 2 for the read instead of the cover. So cool. beast cover there. So there you go. Look forward to reading all that stack tonight. So like I said, I also went to a Half Price Books. That's the one where I got that $5 first appearance of Lobo. So I decided to go back and see what else they had. Of course, it'd be kind of silly not to at that point. Nothing too crazy this trip, just a lot of $1.50, $2 things. So I'll go ahead and show you guys what I got. I found a copy of Isola #1 for $2. I actually didn't have the cover A for this. I had a C2E2 convention variant. So I figured if I'm going to reread the series one day, I just want to read, you know, a 1A instead of a $10 variant. So picked up this for $2. Thought that was pretty cool. It was only that cheap. Got a Batman Adventures #7. Figure I'd start picking these up because all these Batman Adventures books, like especially like the first ones, and of course the ones with Joker and Harley Quinn on there, they just keep going up and up and up for some reason. Wonder why. But yeah, got it for what, $1.50 for issue 7. So figured why not pick it up for that much. And then also had an issue 8 there. Once again, $1.50. Don't know why I throw that extra 50 cents in there. Can't just make them $1. Get rid of them. Yeah, I guess this was kind of an interesting find. There's a Batman and Robin #38. Always liked this cover, just never picked it up to begin with. I was kind of out of Batman and Robin by this point. But this one was actually signed by Pat Gleason and Peter Tomasi. So I figured for $1.50, why not pick up a signed book? Even though Gleason's signature is a little bit smudged, it's not really noticeable. And I always just kind of like that cover too. It's kind of a funny note. They had this not signed for $2 and signed for $1.50. So I thought that was kind of funny. So I was like, yeah, we'll pick it up. Also picked up a couple variant Green Lantern covers I didn't have already from my Jeff Johns run. I don't know if this is a variant cover or a second printing. Either way, I thought it was pretty cool for $1.50, so I went ahead and picked it up. Green Lantern 21. It's the Sinestro Corps War Part 2. Basically, it's once the Sinestro Corps War started in the Green Lantern run. It's got that cool green background cover with Sinestro on it, so thought that was cool for $1.50. Like I said, I think it's a second printing, so it's probably not worth more than $1.50, but I love this run, and I guess I'm getting sucked into getting these variants for that run, so there we go. Also picked up Green Lantern 40. I think this is, I don't know if this is the regular cover and I already had the variant. I think that's the case, but nonetheless, I didn't have this cover previously. It's kind of like where they start to introduce quite a bit of the Blue Lantern Corps. So once again, $1.50 for this issue. Thought that was a really nice cover. I found the Wildcats issue 1 for $1.50, but in my New Day voice, it's a newsstand. So there we go. Yeah, I couldn't leave this laying for $1.50 for newsstand. Like I said, I don't think it's worth too much or anything like that. But I always collected Wildcats when I was a kid. Never saw a newsstand for, you know, cheap. So I decided why not get it today for $1.50. Super Sons #1 for $1.50. Actually signed by Peter Tomasi once again. So can't leave these signatures laying around, especially when I know what they are. So I thought that was pretty cool. I don't think I have it. I may have an issue of this already. If not, like I said, I might go in one of those giveaways. We'll see. Then they had a weird thing where it was just like, you know, you're looking through like their boxed or their stored away comics. Like that was like, it's not like a plastic case. You have to like put your finger inside and then like flip through the comics that way. But it said like there are more comics behind the counter up front. I'm like, well, you know, I got to look at the behind the counter again. So like I said, nothing too crazy this time. They did have the full run of Saga minus issue 1. So I'm really hoping I didn't miss out on a cheap issue 1, but nonetheless, as a collector, we can't dwell on that type of stuff. But I did find a Green Lantern 195. They had $6 on this, but I figured, you know, why not? I made the drive up there. This is where Guy Gardner basically becomes an active Green Lantern. So I figured why not for $6. That's about the going rate for this book. Pretty clean copy. Could use a little bit of press, but yeah, it's probably not even worth pressing. That's like I said, it's a $6 book, but if it ever were to take off, it's a cool copy. And I love my Crisis spinoffs and crossovers from the 80s, so I figured it'd be pretty cool to have. All right, so that was I hit some antique stores. I hit about 2 or 3 on the way back, and I struck out at all of them. So I wish I had something cool to show from there. A few of them had some comics, but they were all just way overpriced for what they were. Just, you know, kind of some of them were just garbage for $5 or more. So with that being said, let's get back to the chat. All right, so we got Popcom. Roman Curtis is in the house. He said, "Good evening, fellas, and Miss Hustle." So good to have you, Roman Curtis. And then Popcom says, "Hey, Lex, you picking up the Batman animated series collector's edition?" You know, I was thinking about that. I think what is it, $100 for that thing? I don't know. I was gonna wait and see if they had the all the Batman stuff streaming on the DC service coming up at the I was at the 15th. I think that launches. So I've been slowly getting away from physical media in terms of, Blu-rays and stuff. Popcorn says he thinks that's an Amazon exclusive. Like I said, I do want it, but can I pull the trigger at $100? So I think it's all going to be streaming next month on the DC service. I just can't right now. Plus, I know Amazon and kind of their Black Friday deals toward the end of the year. If they still have those, they might be like cheaper down the line. Because I know when they had that Marvel Cinematic Universe Phase 1 box. So it was like the one with the Tesseract cube in it. That thing started off quite a bit, and then it got dirt cheap after a while. I think it was only on sale a couple of days, but that's when I snagged that up. So you got like all the 3D copies for, I think, less than $100. Maybe it's like $80 is what I paid for that Tesseract thing. So I'm kind of waiting to see if Amazon has one of those sales eventually. But I definitely did see that pop comment. It piqued my interest, that's for sure. All right, back to some pulls this week. I got a package in from Alex, the comic order. He had an auction about probably a week and a half ago at this point. I think it was on a Sunday. Like I said, I've been trying to go do the auctions a little bit less just because I got a lot of comics going into the closet now. I still haven't put up my top row yet, so I guess enjoy the Batman row up there. But I've got pretty much everything behind me, plus now a row started in the closet, and I've left a empty shelf for another row. So yeah, I really don't want to exceed 5 more long boxes because I have nowhere else to put this stuff at that point. But anyway, I still get like one auction win somehow per auction. But like I always say, I can't pass up a good deal. So I think it was like less than $40 for this whole lot, which I think is worth it. First off, didn't have this. I think it's a second printing of Justice League of America number 12 from the Brad Meltzer run. Cool Alex Ross cover. This was originally a connecting cover. I think it was just like a 12A and a 12B. But when they did the reprint, they just put them all together and, did the horizontal thing. So always thought this cover was cool. I'm glad that it was part of the auction. He threw in also a Batman 524. I think this was the second appearance of Jason Todd. So thought that was a cool pickup. And, Alex, he sells good quality books. This thing is a very clean copy of this. Justice Side of America number 1 was also in this package. I think this is the first Jesse Quick, which I'm surprised because this book doesn't go for a whole heck of a lot. And I don't think I was kind of doing a little bit of research online just because, so I can do the show and tell you guys what the things are. And I was just like, wow, this for her being on, like a TV show on the CW, and this is supposed to be a first appearance. This thing it's a very easily attainable key. So, like I said, I even realized what this was until I got it home and looked it up. So I thought that was pretty cool. And Alex loves his art germ, so he threw in a couple art germ covers, which these are doubles for me. I got Catwoman number 1 once again. Cool Joelle Jones run started a couple months back. So Alex and his Milers, there you go with the reflection. And then Mira, Queen of Atlantis number 1. Cool art germ cover once again. But the main reason I wanted to bet on this is a book I've been looking for probably 2 decades at this point. It's Flash 92, first appearance of Impulse / Bart Allen / eventually Kid Flash / Impulse again. So as you guys know, I collected DC heavily in the 90s. Connor Kit Superboy, he was my boy. Love me some Tim Drake Robin, and I love that Titans run. They were all in together. So Bart was a part of that Titans run, so I had to make sure I got this. And I always like this run too from Mark Waid and Mark Wieringo. I had every issue but this one, like pretty much 93 up until the early 100s of that Mark Waid run. I could never find this one though. It's the very first one I wanted. Probably the first Flash book I was seeking after, and just could never find it for the right price. You never found any dollar bins, obviously, or anything. So I was extremely happy when I saw Alex put this up, and just extra shout out to Alex Comic Order. He was sending me messages last week about, I guess, I don't know if he had like a flooding problem or something, but more or less the book he was going to originally send me got ruined. So he took this one out of his personal collection just to make sure I got taken care of. So big thanks again, Alex. Once again, very, very happy with this copy. Happy to have it in the collection. All right, so let's get back to the chat because it looks like we got a couple questions popping up. Popcon says, I just ordered an entire run of G.I. Joe IDW Volume 1 by Chuck Dixon, 0 through 27, all for print for about $2.30 per issue. Oh, that's cool, man. You know me, I love my G.I. Joe. So earlier this year, I've been collecting the old Marvel stuff. So my comic shop put up the old stuff. Were basically like $12 bundles, and in those bundles, actually, I think the first two bundles were $15, but it had issues 1 through 10, and then 11 through 20, 21 through 30, and so on and so forth. But they were beat up copies, but they still been a blast to read. And then Simon Comics says Brad Meltzer writes comics. Yeah, in the mid to late 2000s, he dipped his toe into the comic book realm. Simon, basically, he wrote Identity Crisis, which had some cool Mike Turner covers. Trying to think of who did the art. Maybe Rags Morales did the art on that one. It's a solid read. It's been criticized pretty heavily over the last few years, though, just because of what happens to one of the characters in there, and then what happens to another one of the characters in there. It's a very controversial read. And then, but it was successful, so they put him on the Justice League title after that, which I enjoyed. They focused heavily early on Red Tornado. Early on, so it's very interesting to see. You know, I always find it interesting when they do the Justice League titles, like early on in the new one with Scott Snyder. He focused on Martian Manhunter for the first time in several years. So when Meltzer took over the title, like one of his key characters was Red Tornado, and basically Amazo taking him over. So it was a pretty cool read, and it's known for some of the variant covers. Like Mike Turner did a lot of cool variant covers on that, and then there's a really awesome, I think it's number 6, has an awesome Adam Hughes cover with Black Canary on it. So they're worth seeking out. Some of them are. Looks like we got Catrin Figures in the house. Hey, how's it going, Cat? Let's see what else Simon has to say. I know some Brad Meltzer cousin and sort of know him, so I'll talk to him about this. Yeah, that's cool, man. So I got a couple eBay pickups. Got a Captain America run. So Simon, you might like this actually. And I'd like to sit down and read these eventually. Well, I got a couple more down there. I'll show those in a second. But I got 260. Thought this was a cool cover. I've always kind of wanted this one too. They actually did a 3D swipe of this when they did that whole Marvel Legacy thing. We all know how those 3D covers turned out, but I wanted the original because it was a cool cover, so that was in there. I got a 265 Mike Zeck, and the main reason I wanted this lot had a lot of cool Mike Zeck stuff in it. I'm going to meet him hopefully this month at Cincinnati Comic Expo. And I know he charges per sig, so I wanted to get some nice quality Mike Zeck stuff to get signed. Probably, I might just drop a 20 and get him signed like $4. I don't know which ones yet, but nonetheless, I love his work on Cap. There is 266. Once again, cool Mike Zeck. It's awesome stuff. And then 271. And Beatty's going to be there too, so any of these I should be able to get double signed. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. I thought I had a few more down here, but of course, as things go, when I try to plan, stacks fall over. Yeah, actually, I had a Cincinnati Comic Expo pile started for them already. 270. So this is out of the pile I might get signed. It's kind of the maybe pile, if you will. 269. More awesome Mike Zeck. Team America. F yeah. Number 267. And then this one I'll probably get signed just because it's got the classic XMen on it. Number 264. So there we go. And I said, fortunately, these things, they were not shipped in bags and boards, but they are in actually really nice quality. I don't know if the guy just took them right out of the bags before he shipped them because he was a cheapskate or what, but they're actually in really good quality for having no bags and boards. So I was at least happy with that. But like, come on, eBay sellers. Like, I had that one good one I talked about last week that shipped in Mylar, and then I'll get those other ones that ship in nothing. So there you go. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. All right. Looks like we got Comics Addictions back. He says, what's up? Kat says, Identity Crisis was a solid read. Yep, like I said, I agree. If nothing else, it's got some phenomenal Mike Turner art on those covers. And actually, speaking of Identity Crisis, it does have one really cool issue. If you like Deathstroke, they have one really cool issue where he just wipes out like a B team of the Justice League by himself. Basically, that was kind of actually a really cool issue. Like he knows, like it just shows like sometimes in comics, sometimes in the good comics, I should say, you kind of get the mindset of whoever the main character is, and Deathstroke's kind of the main character in that part. And it's going through his head like why he's attacking so and so first. Like he knows to take out Zatanna first of who he's fighting in that Justice League because she's the most powerful person there. So basically, he goes after Zatanna, and I think he goes after Kyle Rayner after that, and so on and so forth. So it's a very, very interesting read because of that. So looks like we got Tat's Comics in the house. What's up, Tat? Caught a little bit of his live stream earlier. Check out his channel, please. He's got some great stuff on there and some awesome quality art, especially like he does like box tops now and stuff. So he's got some cool box top art. But he says, hi, everyone. Yeah, he's excited about Mike Zeck. Simon's Comics says, love Cap Comics. Really nice cap. Tat's Comics says, can't stay long. Have to take my son to football. Let's see what else. Everyone's saying hi. Tat says, Men of Wrath #1. Really good. Oh, looks like Metarog's up. Hey, what's up, Metarog? How's it going, man? Cut some of his live stream yesterday on Bub's Comics channel, the No Faces chat. So also recommend following them each and every Monday around this time, actually. But I try to catch them every Monday I'm off. If I don't have to work, they got some good stuff over there. Looks like we got Comic Core in the house. I'm going to assume that's Chad. So what's up, Comic Core? Every Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern. Check us out, please. Have a blast the last few weeks on that channel. So some of the best stuff we've done, I think, has been the last few weeks. So if you guys didn't catch those live, please catch those on a rewind because it's been a lot of fun chatting with the Comic Core the last few Fridays. Not the last ones weren't fun, but I'm just saying. I think the last few were especially good. All right. Next up, we'll get back into the books real quick and then go back to the chatter box, as they say. Got some nice X-Men eBayed to me. So when I see cheap X-Men, I hop all over it. I think I only paid $3 to $5 an issue on these, no more, no less. So the first one, like I said, just like the Comicaholics say, we got a potato book in the bunch. X-Men 25, but still cheap Silver Age X-Men. It's hard to come by. I think the cover's completely split down the side, but it is actually readable. But like I said, from $3 to $5, can't beat that. Got one of the reprint issues, X-Men 84. This one's actually not in too bad a condition. So I think this is my first reprint issue, actually. I don't really collect these too much. But the main reason I wanted to get this lot, and like I said, one of these books you don't find cheap, that's for sure. All new, all different X-Men 96. I believe this is the first Moira McTaggart. And then it is a very nice, clean, as you can see. Not too much going off that spine, which is great. Those yellows and red. Wi-Fi. All right. Hopefully I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. All right. Hopefully I didn't just completely black out there. Sorry, I had a whole thing that said my connection was unstable. So hopefully I'm back now. We'll just get into the chat while I'm waiting here for... Okay, good. It looks like we had Rich the Third join us, a former member of the Comic Core. Maybe we'll get him back one day, but nonetheless, good to have you, Rich. How's it going, man? Simon says, I was watching a lot of top 50 comic videos, and I just posted my top 50 comics, mostly Golden Age, plus subbed up Tats Comics. Yeah, actually, speaking of this whole 50 comics tag, the Doom 143 has his contest going on, wanting everyone to show their top 50 comics. So there's been a lot of just awesome top 50 lists come out this week. So I actually put mine down below in the description just in case you guys missed it. Because there's been a phenomenal response to my video, I know. So thank you guys for that. There's been like, I've already almost topped almost to 100 views on that video. So thank you guys for that. Been some excellent comments I've enjoyed responding back to. So just once again, thanks Doom143 for hosting that contest because there's been a lot of cool videos posted recently. Sorry, trying to get the comments caught up. Well, hopefully my connection doesn't crap out again. Comics Addiction says XMen Silver is so expensive now. Yes, it is. Like I said, getting those like early issues, it's a minimum of a $20 book if it's not a key. So looks like we got the Great Legend show in the house. What's up, Legend? How's it going, man? Glad you can make it. He says, is that Avatar's eyeball behind you? So he's talking about this the Sandman light right there, actually. That is the Eye of Death from Sandman. The other side is Dream. So I didn't even realize that until I got this shelf set up behind me. I actually put it in my top 50 video. That's the opening shot of that video. So yeah, I guess it does look like an Avatar eye. So let's see. Catrin says I'm back. So sorry about that, guys, once again. Let's see. Everyone's saying hi to each other. Comics Edition says I just caught your top 50 and having fun watching everyone's collections. Yeah, like I said, it's been a blast watching everyone's stuff. All right, so hopefully I can get through this all without my internet going out again. So also got XMen 99. I think this is where we left off before I got that notification that I wasn't broadcasting. So I think this was the first Cyclops' father. I think I could be wrong. He's probably a better person to judge that than me, but nonetheless, still an excellent clean copy. X-Men 106, cool Dave Cockrum cover. Got X-Men 115. I think this is the second appearance of Sauron. This one's not the greatest in the world. It's got a little bit of chipping on top, but nonetheless, still a decent copy for what I got it for. This one's a little beat up, but it's not too bad. X-Men 117. Believe this is the first Shadow King, which I'm happy to have because I absolutely love that Legion TV show, and Shadow King is still the main bad guy on there. I'm hoping that either Hulu or Netflix gets season 2 soon so I can finally watch that. But yeah, cool to have the first Shadow King. Legend says, looks beautiful in Mylar Starjammers. So yeah, I definitely put these older ones in the Mylar. E. Gerber 2 halfbacks. Next up, we got Uncanny 146. So we got some Murder World action right there. So like I said, I love these older X-Men's. Got 154. And this one I kind of stopped putting them in Mylar. I just saved the Mylar for 150 and behind. I got 177. 220, which luckily, like, this is the worst condition one in the whole lot besides that 24 or whichever one I said first. But yeah, there's some mad spine roll. This spine's like on the front. So, oof. And then I got a couple annuals, which I think all of these are doubles. So when I do my contest, or actually close to 250 subscribers, I think I'm 4 subscribers away from 250. So that means once I hit 250, there will be a second prize created for my contest. So I'll probably end up like putting these king size annuals in each of the prize packages. So I know I already have one copy of this. So got my prize package right back here behind me. So there we go. Adding that to the prize package now. Didn't have this one though. X-Men versus Dracula. I think this is a reprint of that issue or the annual number 6. So I thought that was kind of cool how they did like a different cover on that and everything. Got a couple issues of this issue 8. So once again, this is going to be a double for me. So we'll go ahead and add that to the contest pile. And then they sent another one. So once we get that 250, this will be added to that. So I got a little bit of a double stack going on over here. And that's my X-Men eBay haul. So like I said, cheap X-Men, you can't beat it. Get that out of the way so we can get into our hardcover portion of the video. But first, we will get back to the chat because we got Great Legend talking about Mylars. Who doesn't love that? All right. So he says, dang, Eye of Death, creepy. Yeah. I didn't even realize, like, because I just parked it like on the shelf and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not Dream, that's Death. So because I didn't know there were 2 sides to it, so I just left it there because I thought it looked cool. I might spin it around if it's too creepy for some viewers, I guess. I actually did. It powers on even. I didn't power it on because I kind of forgot, but it actually glows blue. So there you go. Legend says, I actually need to order more halves and fulls for the big boys. Yeah, I just got my shipment of everything in last week. I was completely out. So on my last full video, on my 147 insane haul I had last week on my live stream, I ended up having to get like probably 200 Mylar sets to bag and board my stuff. And I absolutely, like I said, if there's one thing, I always say that if there's one thing the community has changed about my collecting style, it's this stuff right here. I love these e-Gerbers, man. You talked me into, you sold me, Legend. So e-Gerbers, my lights. So there we go on that. First Mylar video I did in full, but now I have to go halvesies. Yeah, I start off. See, I made the rookie mistake when I wanted to get my Silver Age stuff bagged and boarded. I bought the Silver Age full back boards for my Silver Age stuff, and those are like way too big when I should have got the standards. So yeah, I did make that rookie mistake, but now I've corrected that. And that sucks though too, because those silver boards barely fit in those boxes. They kind of go a little bit sideways on me. Comics Addiction says, I have yet to find a place where they sell cheap. Yeah, honestly, I've been buying off eBay stores and combination of that and Amazon. You just have to do a lot of price shopping. I'm sure probably Legend has his hookup he may tell us about one day. But basically, yeah, I just do a lot of window shopping and that stuff and try to figure out who's got the lowest price and finally order off that person. Usually a lot of those places have free shipping too, which is good. Looks like we got Wolf Blitz in the house, man. How's it going? Oh, by the way, if anyone purchased anything off me in the Great Legend auction last Saturday, all those packages were sent out this morning. Obviously, I couldn't send them out yesterday because the post offices were closed due to Labor Day, but I sent all the packages out around 11 o'clock today, Eastern time, so hopefully they'll get to you soon. All right, so I wanted today, looks like I got about 23 minutes left before the hour mark, so I want to talk about my collecting style and hardcovers, basically. Oh, cool. Thanks, Rich. He says he'll be shipping my package out tomorrow. Awesome. But anyway, we talk about buying single issues a lot and showing off our single books. Sometimes I kind of forget to show the love to my hardcovers and the stuff I absolutely like in my hardcover collection, because I do have a lot of stuff I really enjoy having as hardcovers. So I made a little stack next to my foot here. Right before I started the video, I actually hit my knee on the thing trying to not tip over that stuff. So that was fun. But anyway, I got to show some love to my hardcovers because it's a great, cheap way to get some excellent reads. And usually it's the best presentable way to get your reads too. So like, for instance, I wanted to show off Young Avengers. This is the Kieran Gillen and Jamie McKelvey run. If you guys aren't familiar with this team, they also do the Wicked and the Divine. So once I started reading the Wicked and Divine, I found out they did a Young Avengers run. I'm like, I gotta have that Young Avengers run. So this is an excellent hardcover. I think this has most, if not all, of the run in it. And actually, the main reason I pulled all these hardcovers, I got them all signed, and there's a little bit of personalization in there too. So I got this signed by both McKelvey and Gillen. And Gillen actually did, he's just like, what's your favorite Avenger in this book? And I'm just like, I really like Kate Bishop. She's been my girl for a while in these books. So he drew a little Kate Bishop there. So I thought that was really hilarious, and I wanted to show that off. So, once again, an excellent read. And I love the way sometimes the creators will do personalized things in these hardcovers. Because it seems like, creators lately, they like to charge for the signatures and that stuff. I've noticed some of them, like I think Steve McNiven comes to mind. Anymore, he'll charge, at least when I met him, he charged $5 per signature, unless it was either A, personalized, or B, it was a hardcover. He'd just do it for free if it was a hardcover, because he knew, well, I think those are my fans and not the eBay sellers, so I'm just going to free of charge. So I thought that was really cool. Let's get back to chat before I show my next one here. Let's see. Gotta scroll up because you guys are blowing it up out there. Let's see. Great Legend says, my hookup is real good. I call Sweet Lady at Eat Gerber and buy about 2,000 at a time and buy in bulk from Gerber and save money. Wow, 2,000. That's awesome, man. Looks like Comic Bags 22 has joined us. What's up, Comic Bags? How's it going, man? And All About Comics is here. What's up, All About Comics? Now we got to mention Comics and Cold Ones every Thursday night, 10 p.m. Eastern. Well, another one of my favorite live shows that's going on in the community right now. Him and Pope Grimy have been killing it on Thursday nights. Unfortunately, the only cold one I made for myself for this video was a C2E2 water mug. So Stacy, it's like 95 degrees here. But yeah, comics and cold ones, man. One of my favorite live shows. Roman Curtis says, I can't remember what I won. LOL. You know, unfortunately, Roman, you're not. That happens to me sometimes too. Like, I'll do these like auctions and stuff between that and my eBaying. Like, that's how I knew, like, man, I gotta cut back on this stuff. If I buy something and then I can't remember I bought it, and then I get it in the mail, I'm like, oh yeah, I bought this. Like, that's pretty goofy. So, but yeah, it does happen, Roman. Metarog just subbed up Wolf Blitz. Yeah, go ahead and sub each other up, guys. Especially if you don't know each other, everybody in this chat so far, I can vouch for and say that they make quality content, or should start making videos. Roman, I think I'm waiting for video number 3 from you. But yeah, Roman started making videos lately, and I give him his thumbs up. That's for sure. Let's see. Catrin says sub Wolf Blitz. I'm trying to see everyone's top 50 for sure, so I'll have to check that out after this too. I don't think I've watched Wolf Blitz's top 50 if he's put one out. Great Legend says, hey, GP, I'm going to show some hardcovers on All About Comics this week. So he's showing hardcovers too this week. That's cool. Awesome. Love signed hardcovers, says Legend. Cat Wren says, I just bought A versus X, the complete story hardback on sale yesterday. Yeah, actually, I think I have that same one right over there. And another reason I like to get those type of hardcovers, Cat, is because they have multiple creators that worked on those. So you can collect like a bunch of signatures if you go to conventions and stuff. It's one of my favorite things to do, which, hey, I got one of those type of things show up here in a second. Religion says, Woodard, I only buy every couple of years, though, LOL. Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, if I'm at 2,000 milers, I wouldn't want to fill those up in like 2 weeks. Popcorn says, hey, guys, got to go. But Rob, hit me up on the Google Hangouts. So take it easy, Popcom. Have a good night. Keep saying hi to each other. Yeah, Cat Ran agrees. It's very hot in the Midwest right now. Thank you, Eric. Yeah, I was going to say, that's what sucks about an upstairs room. The central air doesn't get as distributed evenly up here as it does downstairs. So usually after these videos, I run downstairs and fire on the fan after I get done doing these live streams. And Cat's, I'm sorry, Legend says, oh yeah, Wolf got all the FF minus some variants here and there. All right, so you guys want to see hardcover, so we'll get back to that. Next one I got, and I'll preface saying this, I do not like the page quality in these Y the Last Man hardcovers, but you guys know me by now. I absolutely love this story. One of my favorite, probably the best post-2000 comic book story, in my opinion, Y the Last Man. Once again, there we go. I'll put my face next to that, so that way everyone can just post that meme or whatever on Instagram or whatever when we talk about Y the Last Man, because we know Y Last Man's my read. But anyway, the reason I like, to show this off, just once again, I got this signed by Pierre Guerra, who was nice enough to personalize my volumes 1 and 2 for me. So there's York Brown right there. I should have pulled my second one too, but I had a little bit of a stack next to me. So figured for time, I just show the first one. But she also did an ampersand in my volume 2, which I thought was super cool. So once again, another great free sketch I got in here. And like I was talking about earlier, I really like when, books come out like X-Men Messiah Complex. So this is the entire read of X-Men Messiah Complex, which they spun into every X-Men title, which means we had a lot of creators on this book, basically. So this is the first hardcover I ever bought. I used to just only collect single issues, and then I had a phase where I collected really hardcovers. Now I just kind of collect everything, as you guys can probably tell. But the reason I like to collect this type of stuff is I can get like tons of signatures in it. And so up top there, I got like a Mark Silvestri. I don't know if you guys can see Humberto Ramos' signature. He didn't have a silver pen, so he just signed right there on the black on black. So thank you for that, Humberto Ramos. And then I believe the weird looking one is Craig Kyle, and then the other weird looking one is Chris Yost. So it's cool to get those guys to sign it. And then there's a Billy Tan, a David Finch, and a Peter David. So thought that was pretty cool. I think there's still only a few left I need to get for this one. Like, I would love to get Ed Brubaker to sign this. Ed Brubaker never comes to the Midwest, though. So if someone could convince Ed Brubaker to come to the Midwest, no one watching this will probably be able to, but somebody, that'd be awesome. Him and Grant Morrison are like the two guys I really want to meet and haven't had a chance to yet. All right, next up, Swamp Thing. This one is the Scott Snyder run from the New 52. And Yannick Paquette actually did a lot of if not all of the art in this, which I think I've endorsed the Swamp Thing run previously, so you guys probably know all about that. But I got it signed by Yannick Paquette, and actually he was really nice enough to do this cool sketch in it for me, which I didn't even have to ask or anything. I was just like, hey, man, this is a cool hardcover, blah, blah, blah. And he just sat down and started sketching the Swamp Thing, which I thought was super cool. And the other reason I like to collect, stuff from like Scott Snyder hardcovers, and even Yannick Paquette was saying like there were changes between the individual issues and the hardcovers. Like they will clean up dialogue and stuff they just didn't care for previously. And then like Yannick was talking about like the difference in splash pages and stuff like that. Sometimes they have that gutter loss in DC hardcovers, so he was kind of commenting on that and the weird cleaning up stuff they have to do. So just very intriguing stuff from Yannick Paquette right there. But I'll go ahead and show that little quick sketch one more time because I love it. So there's an awesome Swamp Thing for you guys. All right, we'll take a quick time out for a second, get back to the chat, see what you guys have to say. Legend says, Roman, good seeing you tonight. What are one of my favorites on Tuesdays? Thank you, Legend. Comic Bags says, the top 50 comics videos people are doing are for a contest. Yeah, they're for the Doom 143's contest. He's basically giving away I think a 5-point-ish range giant size XMen #1. So obviously that's a phenomenal prize on top of a few other awesome prizes too. So I recommend checking out the Doom 143. He just doesn't want to be mentioned in the contest videos. That's why it's kind of not getting around that much in terms of it's a contest, which is a cool thing for him to do because it kind of shows it's just about the community rather than the person doing the contest. So I thought that was a cool idea from Doom. Let's see who else we got. Looks like Pope C's back. Cool. What's up, Pope C? Let's see. Legend says Roman 4 rounds and my back is shot. LOL. Yeah, man. Just 4 rounds of that great Legend action, man. Like I said, it gets hot in here toward round 4. I don't have a beanie to take. I got a WCW cap I can take off sometimes, but I can sure wearing a beanie in 95-degree heat. It's hot. All About Comics says, if any of you fellow YouTubers would like to be a guest on Comics and Cold Ones, please hit me up. See whatever got to be on soon, bro. Yeah, anytime, man. If I'm off on Thursday nights, JP, you can hit me up. I'll be a guest on your show anytime. It's like I said, it's one of my favorite shows on Thursday nights. I'll be there anytime you need me, man. You know me. Rich says, damn, signed and sketch, nice. Yeah, let's say a little bit of a theme on my hardcovers tonight. Legend says, you got them all Legends, and it's signed in gold, the great Legends. Yeah, I need to start carrying a gold marker around, but they just dry up too quick. I'll get like a couple of signatures per year with like I actually tried that once, carry around like my own Sharpie. Like this is a black one, but I wanted silver for a while, but like I got 2 signatures with it and then it dried up. So shame on me, I guess. Rich says, hell of a collection you got. Thank you, Rich. And then Great Legend says, is that Charles Soule 2 or just Snyder? I believe this one, I don't know. I think this covers Rot World. I have to look on the back if it's yeah, I think this captures Rot World toward the end of it, so it should have some Charles Soule in it actually. So it does have a little bit of Charles Soule toward the end because he was on Charles Soule was on Animal Man at the time. No, actually, I'm sorry, he was on after Jeff Lemire, so this would be Jeff Lemire, not Charles Soule. Sorry. So Jeff Lemire is the one who's probably credited, and this is the writer for Rot World, as well as Scott Snyder, of course. Because I think he did issue 20, on which I actually have those signed too individually. Next up, I've got Chew. I picked the 3rd Omnivore edition. I have actually all 6. Another phenomenal independent read. I love this run. It's up there with like Why the Last Man for Me and awesome Image titles. And actually, Rob Gilroy was really nice. He did a Chog sketch for me. If you guys have read Chew, you guys know all about Chogs. So I think I've got all 6, and he's done a sketch in all 6 for me. Like Rob Gilroy is one of my favorite people to meet at convention. So, and he's got Farmhand out right now. So if you guys go to a con and Rob Gilroy is there, go out of your way to meet the guy. He's one of my favorite convention artists, basically. And he does once again, all this is free without even asking. Like he's awesome. So I think if you have a volume 3, he will do a Chog every time, I've noticed. But like I said, there's 6 volumes like this, and he'll do a sketch in all of them. If you probably ask him, if he doesn't, you probably ask him if he's not busy, and he'll do it. But I think this is my favorite of the 6, so I decided to show it off. Nice, awesome chog. So love that. Next up, decided to pick an Omnibus. This thing was not fun to carry around at a convention, but nonetheless, it's a phenomenal read. This is the start of the Captain America by Ed Brubaker run. Solid, huge omnibus. This covers issues 1 through 25, so pretty much the entire first wave of the Steve Rogers Captain America Ed Brubaker run. So as you guys probably know by now, issue 25, he gets killed off. So this is pretty much the Steve Rogers run, and then Omnibus number 2 would be the Bucky run, basically a Winter Soldier run. So I highlighted this one because I got a cool Mike Perkins sketch inside it. I don't know if I think I told the story before about how I wasn't a huge Mike Perkins fan previously, just because I had a weird interaction with him at a convention, which I think was probably partly on me too. But after, like, I met him again, and he was just the nicest guy. And like I said, once again, I didn't even have to ask, and he gave me a personalized cap inside this. And I think he's just like, man, you carried an omnibus around a convention? I got to at least sketch something in it. So this, but then again, this is if Ed Brubaker came to a convention near me, I would probably take this with me and get it signed, because this is one of my favorite Brubaker runs there is. So there's that. Next up, got this New Avengers. Used to get these premiere editions quite a bit back in the day when they did a lot of these. So this one was for Secret Invasion, the spinoff. So once again, I stopped getting the individual issues and started collecting things in hardcover. I wanted to highlight this though because these were perfect for taking to conventions, because there were like 4 or 5 artists just in this one volume alone, and just getting multiple signatures in there and stuff. So I think I got, that's Bendis's sloppy signature up there, which kind of made me mad because he cut off Billy Tan's little Wolverine here there, but nonetheless got a cool free Billy Tan Wolverine personalized sketch in there. So I thought that was really nice of him. Jim Chung also signed this, and David Mack as well. So like I said, sometimes I just like getting little premiere editions or tiny books like this and collecting signatures in them, because I mean they present extremely well in my opinion. It's always fun just to open them up and look at them. So I probably remember more about this than the actual read itself now, but nonetheless, I did like this Brian Bendis initial New Avengers run quite a bit when it first came out. It was awesome. All right, let's see. Let's get back to the chat real quick. Great Legend says he's got all 6 of the Chew Omnivores too. Yeah, man, like I said, those are some of my favorite reads ever. Looks like we got Brandon Stowinski in the house. What's up, Brandon Stowinski? Just talked to him on the Great Legends auction this Saturday. Looks like you guys are just all saying hi to each other. And Richard says, when are you doing a contest for that Bagley sketch? LOL. Well, I'd have to cut it out of my heart or my sketchbook, so that probably won't happen. I think I might try to meet Mark Bagley again in December, though. I think he's going to Louisville for a convention, which is only 2 hours away from me. So I might be going to that. I don't know what he charges per SIGs now. I heard he charges for some of the stuff, like all the initial Carnage run. So I'd like to at least get him to sign my white cover of Ultimate Spider-Man #1. So we'll see how that all works out. All right. So I got one more. No sketch in this one, but just a kind of a different type of hardcover. Once again, these are the DC Absolute ones. This is Absolute Court of Owls. So as you guys know, as you could probably tell by like that whole run right there, I kind of like the Court of Owls storyline. So got this cool Absolute edition of it. I love collecting Absolutes. This one I actually got signed by both Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. Scott Snyder says, "The court is watching you, Scott Snyder." So I thought that was pretty cool. And I absolutely love collecting these. Usually I try to get one Absolute edition per year, because they are expensive. Like this one retailed at $99.99. I probably got it for like $63-ish. Amazon used to have it where you could get them for like 35 to 40% off. Now anymore, I go through InStockTrades.com, which their usual discount's 42% off. Sometimes if you get something week 1, you get it 45% off. And then sometimes they either run deals of the week or a Black Friday special where everything's 50% off. So that's usually when I go crazy getting my hardcovers. But yeah, I absolutely love getting these. So far I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, about 7 of these Absolute editions. And like I said, I just keep getting one a year. So absolutely love those. They are a pain to carry around a convention. These things take up a whole backpack. So I've got an Alex Ross one signed too. That, and I got my Justice one signed by Ross, and then I had Kingdom Come with me for my brother. I wanted to get signatures on both of those. Never carry around 2 absolute editions at a convention. It sucks. Trust me on that. So yeah, this is probably the reason my back's going out, is carrying all this stuff around at cons. So there you go. I might have to get me one of those wheelie carts when I turn 40 or 50. All right, we got some chat action going, so we'll get back to the chat. Rich says he had to try to get my sketch. No worries, man. Looks like Lord Tatman has joined. What's going on, Lord Tatman? Bub's Comics is here once again. We'll plug his live show one more time. He's got the No Faces chat every Monday around this time. So love that show. Every Monday I try to catch it if I'm not at work. I believe it's him, Metarog, and DS Comics, and usually they try to have a guest on. So once again, big thumbs up to those guys. All right, let's see what else we got. Legend, they're talking about slabs now. Hot Books Tatman. So it looks like I have to check out Lord Tatman's channel. He's got some cool stuff going on over there, it looks like. Pope C says, we'll call later. Just had questions about Hangouts online. If you ever done one, let me know about it. I know nothing about Hangouts. I just know how to click the link to join other people's Hangouts at this point when I get them. So yeah, that's otherwise I just do the whole YouTube, hit the live button, and hopefully it works and doesn't go out like it did earlier. So once again, I just want to, well, got about 3 minutes to go, so we'll get a couple plugs in and get out of here. So once again, I'm having my 200 subscriber contest. I am up to 16 entries now. So One-Legged Books made a video this last week, I believe. And my guy from Comic Core Trainer, Tim, was making videos. So made a video for me last week, I believe. So thank you guys for that. Runs till September 23rd. So you guys got plenty of time if you'd like to participate. I got a nice prize package, at least in my opinion. I guess hopefully everybody likes that. But once again, it goes to the 23rd. I've got the link in the video below. I've also got a, if you guys go to my channel, I've got a playlist of each and every one of these individuals' videos. So if you guys want to see, thanks, Focus. What are you going to do? Thank you. There we go. All right. I've got a playlist of each and every one of these people's videos on a 200 subscriber playlist. If you guys would like to view that, I'm sure all these people would appreciate it. That'd be awesome. So it'd be awesome if you guys participate with that. Like I said, I'm at 246 subs right now, I think. If I hit 250, we make it another prize package. We'll probably have about an average of 30-ish books in it. I think I just crossed with those XMen annuals. I probably just crossed number 30 in terms of the prize. So there we go. Once again, Comic Core, 10 p.m. Fridays. Please catch us, sub it up, spread the word. We're trying to get more subs to that channel after what happened to the reviews of the Batcave channel. We're still doing the Comic Core thing on a new channel. So if you guys could spread the word, get some subs. I think they're probably quickly encroaching on 100 subs on that channel. That way everybody knows that the Comic Core is still around and that good stuff, because we're having a lot of fun for about 90 minutes every Friday night. And what else can we plug? You guys can put your plugs in the chat, please, because there's a lot of good stuff going on in the community right now. But nonetheless, we'll go back to the chat and then we'll sum it all up. Looks like Kat says Kate is doing the dishes right now. This is Mark. So what's up, Mark? How's it going, man? Doing the dishes. All right. Legend says, make the lady do them dishes. Let us dudes chili. Oh, chill. Sorry. I'm already for chili season. Sorry. I like chili. Dishes. Like, they do. Sorry. I don't want to do my dish. Now I got to do. Thanks for reminding me to do the dishes. I appreciate it. All right. So like usual, let's go over the chat one more time. Thank everybody who showed up, and we'll sign off. So once again, thank you, Pope Servers, HME3 Comics, Comics Addiction, Simon Comics, Miss Hustle. Once again, she's plugging everybody on Instagram who has shows. So great work, Miss Hustle. She actually did her first live stream, I think, last week, and it made my day. That's my favorite thumbnail I've ever seen on a live stream. So big thumbs up for that. So thank you, Miss Hustle, for all your contributions to the community. Bear Island Comics joined us. Thank you. Popcom was in the house. Roman Curtis, Mr. The big dog, the auction man himself, Roman Curtis. So thank you for making it. Tats Comics, he made it in. He always has a good live stream himself. Metarog, another one of my favorite YouTube channels, one of the most knowledgeable people in the whole community. Thank you, Metarog, for making it. Rich and Chad were both in the house, so thank you, my Comic Core brothers, if you will. The Great Legend, another one of my Comic Core buds. Thank you for making it and plugging all the stuff and encouraging the thumbs up. Wolf Blitz, another auction man right there. Comic Bags 22, all about comics. Once again, Comics and Cold Ones, Thursday nights, 10 p.m. Almost there. Let's see who else joined us. Looks like everybody was just Lord Tatman. I think might have been the last one, unless someone else just popped in. Let's see. He is asking, how much was your 9.4 Green Lantern 87? So on my Green Lantern 87, which, hey, we'll show off that book because why not? Because I love to show this book off as much as possible. So this one I actually got in a lot. I didn't buy this graded. I got this in like a lot of just, I don't want to say garbage books because there were a lot of nice books in there, but the books and the bags were just, you know, the bags and the tape on it were just absolute nasty garbage. So I pulled this out of about a 50 book lot I got on eBay. So I probably factored out to about $6 or $7 a book. So more or less, I think I paid, we'll just say $7 for the book. And then I got it slabbed by CGC. I just dropped it off at Indiana Comic Con and got it back at a 9.4. So I guess $7 plus the price of grading and shipping back to me is what I got it for. So yeah, absolutely. I'll show this book off every video, I guess. And then in the same lot, same price, this book too, if you guys were wondering. So there we go. So I got that one as well. All right. Looks like we got some more people popping in. Knights of the Old, what's up, man? How's it going? And then Spidey Fan just popped in. How's it going? Legend says, hey, Knights, love your FF reviews, and then love that Jon Stewart. So sorry, guys. I guess you have to watch this on a rewind because I just went over the 1 hour mark and don't want to take up too much of your guys' time. So once again, thank you, everybody, so much. Really, really appreciate all the support lately. Like I said, my top 50 video is pushing 100 views. I did put it in the link below if you guys had a chance to catch that yet. I really have been happy with the response on it, and it's very much appreciated. So thank you guys once again for everything, and have a wonderful night.